Hello and welcome to this MySet Discovery session. My name's Bea Losby-Smith, and on behalf of Louisa Webb Business Solutions, I'm going to take you through the MySet MC10, MC88 and ProA skin analysis devices. On this short presentation, I'm going to talk you through what devices we have to offer, what the key similarities and differences are, and how they can greatly benefit your business success, your client journey, your consultations, and your overall business profitability. As a trainer and an educator, I really believe in the value of a comprehensive consultation. It's really important for setting up the foundation of that client practitioner relationship. You can set expectations, you can produce a really bespoke, specialized treatment program and home care routine. And it's really important to be able to offer an empowering, educational, informative session. And having a skin diagnostic tool, such as a skin analyzer, really enables you to do that in a much more in-depth, comprehensive, well-informed manner. So we're going to look at the devices. I'll give you a brief overview and then go into some details about the sort of general technology, but also how they work individually. So as you can see, all of the devices are slightly different in their appearance and also with weight, the measurements, how they look. So we have the MC10, which is the one in the picture in my academy there. That one weighs about 6.2 kilograms, so nice and lightweight. It has a cotton hood that extends on the back, and you have an iPad technology that goes along with that. So as well as receiving the device itself, you will also receive a refurbished iPad as well. This device is just available in the color that you see there, which is black and white. Then you have the MC88. Now the MC88 is slightly heavier, so it's a little bit more weighty, but it has a plastic hood. So it has a little shutter at the back that you double click and you pull out the plastic shutter over the client's head. Now, this one again is iPad technology, so you will be delivered an iPad as well as your device. And you, with this one, do actually have a choice of color. So you can have it in a sort of rose gold and white, which is lovely, and also a really striking charcoal color as well. So just sort of off black, charcoaly gray color as well. So you do have a color choice. And then we have brand new to the market, the ProA. Now the ProA is weight-wise, it's in between the MC10 and the MC88. So very easy to sort of lift and maneuver around. And this one works with Lenovo technology. So you do get a brand new Lenovo tablet, a large screen Lenovo tablet with this one. And again, it has a plastic shutter. So the plastic shutter pulls out over the client's head. This one is available in the color that you see there down the bottom, so that kind of charcoaly black, but we do also have it available in champagne gold, which is absolutely beautiful. I've seen that new edition recently and it's lovely. So you have a bit of choice with those as to your personal preference and obviously the aesthetic and the design of your clinic or your business as well. So just generally talking across all three devices, our skin analysis and the MySet technology works with a 3D mirror image iPad facial skin analysis. So essentially, it's either the iPad or the Lenovo tablet that is actually taking your client's picture. So fantastic cameras, very clear. You get lots of clarity, really high quality images in high definition or high resolution. And we use 5 very well recognized spectra techniques to take those images, which we'll look at on the next slide. We use intelligent face positioning symptom analysis and skin data comparison analysis, which is a really complicated way of basically saying that we can look at the layers of the skin. We can look at multiple concerns, multiple layers, multiple depths within the skin as well, but not just using imagery. We can actually base the client's results and improvements off statistical data. And that's presented and that's founded by way of algorithm. So we use a unique graphics algorithm. Every time your client or any of your clients put their face in the device, they're adding to that algorithm. They're contributing to this accuracy and those statistics. And what that allows you to do is compare your client's skin to people, their age and their gender. So it gives you a degree of severity of where that concern is at and the work that we need to do to improve. You can analyze multiple dimensions of skin problems, as I said before, and those algorithms are based on millions and millions of real skin cases all across the globe. So very, very accurate data. The amount of data that you get differs depending on which device you buy. So we can go through that and look at those comparisons. As I said before, for me as an educator, and consultation is one of the trainings that I do probably the most of, it is an essential consultation and retail tool. You know, you're still the expert, you're the practitioner and the expert in your field. It is up to you to be able to speak to your clients, to educate them, to, you know, give them that passion that you have for your products and your treatments and your knowledge, of course. But having this tool there really helps as a bit of a support for you as well, and to show the clients that, you know, we need to be preventative, not just corrective. You know, when we sit across from a client, all we can see is what's already happened on the surface. But if we can look much deeper in the layers of the skin, that allows us to have a preventative approach to their skincare and their treatment programs, rather than just a corrective approach. We find as well that, you know, not only does it give you that confidence and that scientific backing, it also increases your retail figures, you know, a lot, because obviously, you know, you have that seamless transition into retail rather than having to sell to your clients. It also allows you to really provide a much more bespoke, specialized service for your clients. So, you know, not only are you going to be the most sort of informative, valued consultation system or session in your area, but it allows you to get the client to really see the value in what you're offering, develop a really personalized program for your client. There's lots of other things you can do in terms of social media, comparing their imagery, etc. But it's a really professional way to introduce the client to your business and set off on the right foot for that client relationship moving forward, and retain your clients long term. So, as I said before, we use multispectral image analysis technology to reveal superficial but also subsurface skin conditions as well. The 5 spectras that I mentioned we use are daylight, cross-polarized light, parallel polarized light, UV ultraviolet light, and woods. So those 5 spectras provide multiple images with skin concerns and statistical analysis. You can also, with all 3 of our devices, you can shoot to the front, and you can also get side views of the client's face and then compare them all in turn as well. So that's really important. The amount of pictures that you actually get differ slightly from device to device. So with the, I'll just go back, with the MC10 in the top left, you will get 12 images of your clients. With the MC88, you get 15, so you get an additional 3 screens, so just ever so slightly more detail. But with both of those, the statistical data it works in exactly the same way. You get the same level of statistical data. With the ProA, you do get much more, you get more imagery for your client, but you do also get a much more enhanced statistical analysis as well. So we've slightly changed the way that we look at the skin and how that analysis is given. So we break it down a little bit more rather than a general score for each concern. It's actually split into different categories, and I'll show you that as we go through. So the benefits of skin analysis and with our 3 MySet devices. The first one, which I think is very important, is that you can compare your imagery, whether that be an immediate before and after picture. You have a beautiful black background, a very professional image that is always going to be with the same lighting, the same angle, you know, that professional black backdrop. So it's a really nice way to do your before and after comparisons for social media. You can also compare your client's skin months ago or even years ago to today. So you can really, you know, diarize that improvement over time of your client's skin, which is great to be able to show your clients. It means that they're a little bit more objective about, you know, where they started and where they've got to with your help. So that's really nice. You can also show, you know, your clients other people's results and how you've managed to work with them, especially with the ProA. We do have a library of sort of case studies that you can upload of all your own results and then show your clients those. So it's a really nice way to record all your business successes and all your skincare successes. It's a fantastic social media tool, and I will go through, the kind of marketing benefits of these devices. But just as an example, if you do have a picture that you want to upload onto social media, when you save it to either your iPad or your Lenovo tablet, it will download automatically with your watermark on, or your logo if it's the ProA. So there are things you can set up in the settings center to really just add a bit more value to your business and the service that you're offering within your consultation programs. It is green trends, it's eco-friendly, so we're emailing everything across. There is a function where you can print it off if you need to, but ideally the whole point is that your client has access to all of their information, their pictures, their statistical data, their product recommendations, their treatment recommendations. They have access to all of those on their email, which is fantastic for client retention. It also means that they feel more empowered, more well informed, because they have all that information at their fingertips. As I said before, you can create a treatment program and include all of the treatments that you have in your clinic and add all of the products that you provide as well. So a fantastic way to upsell. You can convert your client from, a traditional or historical course of treatment that they might have been having. Let's say they're just an injectable client and they don't have anything else with you. You really want to get them onto some skincare. It's a fantastic way to convert that client over and provide them with information and products and treatments that are really going to complement, the therapies that they're already receiving. Or it might be that you want to convert a client from a one-off treatment into a full course. This is the way to do that. And, like I said, seamlessly, that can take your profitability and your revenue on a real steep incline with these devices. As I said, you can send all of the imagery as well as your statistical analysis to the client with bespoke personalized notes, instructions from yourself. And we do also have a prediction in our aging process. So with the MC10 and the MC88, that is a 5 to 7 year prediction of what the skin could look like if we were to do nothing, and the skin is going to continue to age or become damaged at the same pace as it has done previously. With the ProA, it actually allows you to look up to 75, 80 years old. So that's a real insight for your clients should they want to see that screen. And again, this is an opportunity to really educate your client and intervene and be preventative in your approach. So we look at a real plethora of skin conditions. It's not just, your bog standard, are you dehydrated, oily, acne, pigmentation. We look at a lot of the consultation, and this is something I'm really passionate about, should be about skin health, skin barrier, those simple steps to make sure that the skin is in a good enough state of repair and functioning properly. We need to make sure that cell functionality is there before we then go in with those deeper, maybe more invasive treatments. So we do look at skin health, we look at sensitive areas, sensitized areas, we look at barrier function, we look at the capillary network and the issues or capillary fragility that comes along with that. We look at pigmentation, whether it's superficial, deep, hypo, the causes, the triggers of that melanocyte production. We look at photo damage, obviously the aging process in general, chronoaging, photoaging, lines and wrinkles that are associated with that, laxity, texture, scarring, whether it's acne scarring or perpetual wounding of the skin. We look at pores, and again, the causes of that. We look at acne, the different types. Porphyrins, so the good and bad bacteria within the skin and how that makes such a difference, the microbiome, the pH, etc. We look at hydration or lack of in a lot of cases, and we look at circulation and oxygenation. So as you can see, there is a real plethora of skin concerns that we can talk through with the client. So we're offering them a fantastic educational session where they can really learn about their own skin, how that works, and then they're armed with the knowledge to make their own choices for how they want their skin to improve and to be in the future. As I said before, the ProA is slightly different in the screen. So we do have the different screens, the spectral images that we go through, but it does have more of an aging focus. So if you're somebody or you're a business that does offer quite a lot of anti-aging treatments, if your client demographic is very concerned with aging, then this is a really good device because it does split the aging areas down for us. Rather than just having one screen for aging, we can look at multiple views of the skin. as you can see there, there's a list down the side of the concerns, the aging concerns that it will show you, but it will also give you statistical data for each one of those concerns, and you can look at those in turn. It will also give you a ranking of what order they come in as well, so the severity and the order. There as well, you can see we do have the aging prediction, and you can move that all the way up to 75, 80 years old. So again, if your clients want to see that, then they are more than welcome, and it just gives us that general prediction of how the skin can change over time and what we can be doing now to prevent that, or to slow it down at least. So both of our devices have really user-friendly apps. What my set are very good at is making everything quite easy to navigate. So they do look slightly different. You can see the ProA app, which is on the Lenovo tablet, has quite a dark screen. The MC88 and the MC10 has our kind of lighter home screens, and it is slightly more simple, I think, to use. Or straightforward, I would say. So whether it's using the home screen, adding a client, whether it's locating an existing client, you know, building up their analysis record, these are what you're looking at really. So very, very easy to use. We do have everything detailed for you step by step on our training portal. So we literally take you through the whole process, how to connect your device, how to add a client, how to take their picture, how to blah, blah, blah. So everything is covered step by step, and you can watch all those videos at a time that's convenient for you and train alongside that. So we've input that system for you. Now, uploading products and treatments, again, the process is exactly the same on both technologies. It just looks slightly different, but the idea here is that you upload all of your products that you offer in clinic and all of your treatments, and you add bespoke notes or personalized notes. If it's a product, you're going to put application notes in there. So how the client uses that product. Is it an AM or a PM product? Do they massage it in and leave it? Do they wipe it off with a damp cloth? Whatever that might be, so that when they're at home and it's 9 o'clock at night, they're putting their skincare on, they don't need to be ringing you saying, oh my God, I can't remember what you said for these products. You know they're going to be using them correctly and getting the best results. Likewise, if it's a treatment, you know that, you know, you want them to turn up to that treatment with their skin prepped and they're safe and we're ready to go. If it's a peel or microneedling or whatever it is, for example, you want to make sure that their skin is prepped correctly. So you can put pre-care advice, you know, please don't use retinol for 72 hours, or make sure you're tan free if they're having laser, whatever it might be. So please do make sure that you use this to your advantage. Upload everything. And as I always say with sales and consultation, put in your seasonal things as well, whether it be a course that you're doing, whether it's a Christmas candle or a diffuser, pop that in. And from October, November, be adding that to everybody's sort of prescription pad, if you like, because then they'll bear that in mind and they might purchase when they next come in. You're able to upsell or convert your clients without actually having to do that much. So it's a really, really fantastic way to increase your retail figures. What it also allows you to do then is when you get to the end of your consultation and, you know, you're becoming a bit pressed for time and you're thinking, God, I've still got to go through all their products with them that I recommend. All you need to do is click on the skin concern that they're, you know, that you're wanting to target. Let's say that's sensitivity or rosacea. You click on that and then it will only pull through the products that you've categorized under that concern. So it makes it really quick and easy for you. You tick all the products that you want or all the treatments. It will already have the notes updated. And then that just gets emailed across to your client. So really, really straightforward, quick and easy for you. With the ProA, we do have the addition now of script management. So what we've done with this is allowed you to be the editor. So although the app will have written all these for you, I have also written a version. So if you're, you know, a bit strapped for time, but you think, oh, I want to change some of these, you can look at my PDF and copy and paste if you want to, or you can completely create your own. So for every single concern that's there, so like it says there, surface spots, or there's tear trough, brown spots, crow's feet, there is a description. So you can edit the description and then you can edit the suggestions. So as I said, you can do that with my suggestions, keep it as it is, or you can put your own in there that are very specific to your business and what you offer. You can also edit the pictures. So if you've got a lovely before and after, bob that on as well. With the ProA, we do also have the data center. Now, the data center allows you to look at your clientele. You can identify your demographic. So what age is your client demographic? What's their gender ratio? Medically, do they have injectable treatments or aesthetic treatments or not? Like I said, the age ratio, you can look at the average symptom or the average concern. So what are you treating most? And if you work out that, you know, most of your clients are over the age of 40 and they're looking at anti-aging and pigmentation, maybe are the top two concerns, you then know what the most popular treatments and products are going to be. And that's a fantastic way for you to introduce new skincare or new equipment. If you're thinking about doing that, you can be very mindful of what choices you make. But it's also a great way to understand how to advertise to your clients. If most of your clients are 60 plus, then you know doing Instagram Reels is probably not the best way to capture your audience. So it just allows you, again, to really hone in on your business and what you're offering and use that to your advantage. Social media tools for the MC88 and MC10. As I said before, you can compare different screens. So before and after images, you can do top and bottom, side and side. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. You can capture those really fantastic results. You can do it from years ago or months ago at the start of their journey to today. You can also doodle on the client's skin, talk them through their skin concerns. I'm very visual when I do a consultation, so I think that's a really nice tool to be able to use. With the ProA, it's exactly the same, just a little bit more detail maybe. So again, side by side, top and bottom, you can compare the skin, different dates, different times, etc. You can also have your skin analysis statistical data side by side as well. So a very quick and easy way to see if those numbers have changed. And again, the doodle screen is exactly the same on this one. So really, really similar social media tools. And again, on both devices or all three devices, you can add your watermark. With the MC88 and the MC10, you can add the watermark in terms of, you can write your clinic name across, you can have it tiled, as you can see there, you can have it just at the bottom, or you can have it in the center. So nobody can take credit for your work. No one can crop any part of your image and claim it as their own. And it's great advertising for you as well. With the ProA, you are actually able to upload your logo. So you can have that tiled across, bottom, middle, etc. So there's a few different ways that you can use that. And as I said, any picture that you save will automatically be downloaded with the watermark. You have gridding, so on both versions, you have the MC88, MC10 and the ProA, you have gridding, so that allows you to look at symmetry, loss of volume, balance out the profile of the client's face and the structure, particularly useful if you're doing injectables, but also things like semi-permanent makeup artistry, if you need that alignment, that symmetry, laser, for example. You also have multiple profile views within the ProA. You can see those multiple views all within the same session. With the MC88 and MC10, you can do that, but you just need to take multiple pictures rather than just one. So we go through all of that on the training. And we also have the addition of the skin test pen. Now, the skin test pen is a separate device, and this can be added on to all three of the MC10, MC88, and ProA. And as you can see, it's just a small handheld device. And what this does is it gives you even more statistical data if you feel like you need that. It measures oil, elasticity, and moisture, so hydration. Very quick and easy. You link it to your iPad or Lenovo tablet, and then it automatically prompts you to record that data once you've taken your client's picture, as I'm doing in that video. And then that will display on your client's report as well. So again, that's all on the training, but that is a separate device that you can talk to Louisa about, if you were interested in that as well. So all I'm going to do to finish is just flip through the different consultation screens, just so you understand the differences, what the different views are, what the different screens look like on all of the devices. And then I'll just do a quick summary at the end in terms of logistical things like delivery, warranty, and all of that. So This is an image from the MC88 and MC10. And what you can see on here is our daylight, so our standard daylight image. And this is pretty much the same on all three devices. This is basically where no analysis has been completed. This is a natural light. This is what you use to do your immediate before and after images. So you can ask your client, what do they like? What do they maybe not like so much about their skin? What are their top 3 concerns? And what's the priority? You know, what's the order of those? Maybe establish a budget or a time scale. So then you know whether you can offer them a realistic, you know, service for their expectations, and you can manage their expectations a little bit as well once you know those different factors. What does the client use on their skin in terms of, you know, is it cosmeceutical? Is it pharmaceutical? Is it, you know, cosmetic grade? Are they just using, you know, the odd baby wipe here and there? It's really important to ascertain that knowledge so you know where you're starting from and how to get their skin health to the best place. Also, you can establish whether this is a normal day for their skin as well, and talk to them about their skin history. So this is just where we start our consultation with the client, and we go through their pictures and things as well. So no analysis, no data will be on here because nothing's been analyze. This is just a standard daylight screen. For the MC88 and MC10, we then have our sensitivity category, which is really more about skin health and skin lifestyle. So here we're looking at the stratum corneum, but we do create a bit of transparency using the cross-polarized light. So that spectra really allows us to see any sensitivity, any sensitized areas, dry, irritated skin. Maybe it's a little bit red, you've got increased erythema, there might be rosacea there, it might be more of an inflammatory skin concern. We can look at things like the capillary network, whether there's capillary fragility, even telangiectasia. And again, we have a heat map there which shows the distribution of hemoglobin. Now, the bottom screen there, you see the red screen, that is an additional screen for the MC88 only. So the MC10 does not have that screen. Remember me saying about 15 images versus 12? This is one of the screens where that comes into play. And obviously on your training, we talk you through the sensitivity statistics as well. So what causes that? Most of this is about lifestyle. So, you know, the client's job, their sleep, their stress levels, hormonal issues within the body and their stage of life. It's also their exposure to, you know, free radical damage, external aggressors, UV rays. So we find out a lot about their lifestyle. And again, this is all on the training for you. And we do also have a PDF, a cheat sheet, which has bullet points and allows you to go through everything so you don't miss anything out. So the same screen, or the same category, should I say, for the ProA, you do have slightly more details. So you have the RGB, which is our standard daylight screen. You have the cross-polarized light where you look at redness as well. So you can see the blemishes there. You can see the capillary network in a lot more detail, telangiectasia. You can see the red areas within the skin there that are broken down into different categories of mild, moderate, and severe. So it will actually give you a count of how many areas are severe or mild or moderate, and it will break that down with a traffic light system as well. So you can see there's green, amber, and red. We do also have a heat map screen as well there. So just slightly different views of the skin, same lights, but we do provide a little bit more detail on the symptom data, so the statistical analysis. But again, the things that you're discussing are going to be exactly the same: lifestyle, exposure, hormone, stress, things like that, rather than just what products do you use. And again, it allows you to be really educational, because the chances are the client doesn't know that actually these are causing issues within their skin. Then for spots, this is superficial pigmentation, so age spots, sunspots, etc. And this is what the MC88 and MC10 looks like for this screen. You have superficial pigmentation, acne markings, sun damage, age spots, sunspots. You can look at the complexion and the tone of the skin. So we're really looking towards the end of the melanogenesis pathway here, where the melanin clusters have already formed subsurface or on the surface of the skin. And down the bottom, you do have an additional screen which allows you to see the prediction. So this is basically using the slider tool, what the skin could look like in 5 to 7 years, if we were to carry on and do nothing, no prevention, no sunscreen, no antioxidant skincare, for example. So again, this allows you to be really educational about pigmentation to your client, get them to understand how it works, why it's so difficult to treat, how long it's going to take, but also how we can be much more preventative in future. You also then have UV spots. So we have the superficial pigmentation. Now we're looking at deeper pigmentation within the MC8 and MC10. So this is our deeper hyperpigmentation. It could be post-inflammatory, it could be sun exposure, it could be cortisol affecting the melanocyte cell. But we're more towards the beginning of the melanocyte melanogenesis pathway here, where we're sort of in the deeper layers of the skin. And here, you know, there's something we can do. We don't have to just be corrective, we can be preventative here. So it's a real opportunity to educate the client and say, you know, we want to decrease the amount that's showing here so that it doesn't come to the surface of the face and look like age spots and sunspots in years to come. Again, you have an additional screen here for the MC8, which is the green screen down the bottom. On the ProA, our pigmentation category looks like this. So yes, you have superficial, you have surface spots that it will show, it will outline those. You can look at multiple views of the skin. You then have the brown screen, which obviously shows you deeper pigmentation within the skin that we can't see to the surface. It also highlights those in the traffic light system, mild, moderate, and severe areas. Then we have the monochromatic screen, which shows you your deeper embedded pigmentation, that eumelanin that's already there. And we do also use a UV light as well to see the damage that has occurred and the different types of pigmentation. You do also get your statistical data as well in a little bit more detail rather than just one score. So the same information, it's just formatted in a slightly different way. Pores for the MC8 and MC10, they're marked by blue dots, so we can see the dense distribution. So where pores are, you know, they're either going to be caused by an overproduction of oil and sebum, or it could be laxity and aging and a lack of tightness within the skin. We also look at porphyrins in the same sort of similar category, where we're looking at different types of bacteria. So bacteria like P. acne, propionibacterium, that can cause acne within the skin. We look at clogged pores. We look at oil on the surface, so lipid on the surface of the skin. We can analyze the metabolism of the skin. We can look at blood circulation, oxygenation, and we can look at hydration and dehydration as well. Then we move on to the Woods lamp. So the Woods obviously is used to analyze any abnormalities or pigmentary irregularities within the skin, such as vitiligo, precursors to more severe concerns or conditions, and that deeper level of melanin. With the ProA, skin type is all under one roof, if you like, one category. And again, we look at pores, which are detailed slightly more in depth. So you have small, medium, and large pores, and it will show you the locations of those and where they're distributed on the skin. So we know where the issues are, and we use a parallel polarized light to do that. We have more statistical data available. We also then look at porphyrins again, but using a UV light, we can see the distribution of the bacteria and where the oils are located again. And then texture, so that's showing anything that's causing a textural fluctuation, whether it's, you know, lines and wrinkles, acne scarring, glycation, whether it's loss of volume, dehydration, etc. So there's lots of different things that can cause that rough texture on the skin. Wrinkles wise, so aging, we have on the MC8 and the MC10, this is what aging screen you would see. So you can see lines and wrinkles, again, textural issues that are outlined there. You can look at dilated pores, acne scarring. And again, we have a prediction screen for 5 to 7 years of what the skin could look like if it was to age at the same rate. The ProA, as I said before, aging is a little bit more a focus with this device. So there is more detail here. It will break your statistical analysis down into fine, shallow, deep, and then deep set lines or deepest lines. And wrinkles, and it will give you a ranking of the different areas. So there's 8 different areas that we go through, whether it's frown lines, crow's feet, marionette, nasolabial, and it takes you through a ranking. So what the most severe areas are, and it will give you the statistical data for each of those. It then will give you a general aging category as well, from 1 to 8 of how severe your aging process is for your age and your gender, again, using the algorithm technology. And again, like you can see in the video in the bottom right corner, you can see there that it gives you an aging prediction if your client would like to see that screen. So you can see how that would look moving into the future. So the summary screens, once you've gone through all of those images with your clients, we're just getting to the end now, so thank you for persevering through this. The summary screen, you can go through and have a look at all the data with the MC88 and MC10, and this is where you would select your products and your treatments for your client, and you would click on the category you want to look at, aging, wrinkles, whatever it is, click on the products and treatments, and they will go on to the end report. And this is what the end report looks like for the MC88 and the MC10. So they get all of their pictures, whether it be 12 or 15. They get their statistical data, any notes that you've written, and then their products and treatments. There are other things you can upload as well. This is a very basic version. You can upload the doodled images that you've drawn and things like that. You can save any before and afters that you've done. So, you know, there's lots of scope here to do a little bit more for your client. The ProA looks slightly different, but again, exactly the same process in that you have the analysis report that you can show them the severity of the skin age, their grading factor, what the most severe concerns are, and then it takes you through all the different skin concerns. You can then select which images you want to put on to the report as well. And then you can provide your product and treatment recommendations and click across those. Then your end report can be produced in two different ways. There is a way where we can just email you this version, I call it the mobile version, or your client can actually scan the QR code on their mobile device and it will come up with their report. So then they can just scroll through their report and look at their products at the end with all of their images on. Or you have the email PDF version. I always suggest that you do both because I think that's great. The client has it on their phone. It does look slightly different as well, but then they have the sort of PDF version emailed to them as well. So you've communicated with them both ways and they can access that report at any time. So you can see there it has all the key statistics on. It has the skin pen moisture test because we added that on. And then it has all of their products and treatments. And again, you can add more images onto this. You can add case studies onto this. You can add drawings onto this. So there's lots that can be added as extra. But the idea is that you email all of this information across to the client or QR code so that they can access it at home. Then obviously the next time they come, you can pull all of this data up within your app, go through it with your client, make any adjustments that you need to in terms of the skin, and then keep moving forward, keep changing the client's programs, you know, depending on the time of year. But the thing is, you're going to get fantastic client retention with this. And I always think it gives your client a little bit of accountability and responsibility. They want to see an improvement. So they're going to make sure that they buy the products, they use the products, they do the treatments so that they do see that improvement in 12 weeks, 6 months time, whatever that timescale might be. So in terms of educational support, you get your onboarding training, which is all available on our on-demand portal. So it's broken down into manageable sections and we suggest that you follow it as it's designed. So step 1, connecting your device, step 2, turning it on, step 3, all of these things. So how to add a client, how to add your watermark, how to discover your settings center, how to take them through the consultation. Everything is detailed on there for you. So you can watch it at a time that's convenient for you. It's broken down into logistical sort of bite-sized pieces so you can understand it. And you have ongoing access to that folder with printouts, cheat sheets, things like that as well. And that will be updated on a regular basis to make sure that all the information is up to date and what you need. We do also have additional resources, so moving forward and continuing into next year, we do also have Zoom trainings, we have consultation help, consultation courses, how you input these devices within your business, so those will be coming as well. So just to summarize, you have your MC10, MC88 and ProA devices. The MC10 and MC88 work with Apple technology, so you do get a refurbished iPad with that. And with the ProA, you get a brand new Lenovo tablet included. We offer 12 months warranty, that's all included within your purchase price. And we do include, or we always strive for, an 8 to 10 day delivery. You have your onboarding training portal, so everything is on demand. demand, and then you have ongoing access to educational support and the resource folder as well. Hopefully that's gone through everything that you could possibly want to know in regards to the devices. If not, and you do still have some questions and you want to get in touch with Louisa, please do. That's her email address there. So you can get in touch with Louisa if you want to purchase the device. If you have more questions, please feel free to reach out to her. She's your port of call. And hopefully I look forward to working with many of you soon. Thank you very much. Take care.